Hello folks, welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm back in here and I'm coloring the monkey, the little monkey here folks. Set you there where you can see what I'm doing. And I'm painting him like a really light brown. I think he'll be really cute that way folks. And I got my edging brush so I can go around the edges of everything and cover the whole picture, folks. What I think's comical, folks, is when I'm doing a video outside on the goose deck, the geese sit and look at me. Have you noticed that in the video? Y'all probably think that's funny, don't you? And it is kind of humorous when you think about it. When I'm up here painting his face, folks, I'm gonna up there where his eyebrows are, I'm gonna kind of leave that blank until I get the magic marker. Because if I don't do that, this brown will cover up his eyebrows, and I want to paint his eyebrows black. So when you get to an edge like that, you gotta be very careful. I don't want to cover up my artwork. Hi, folks. Yeah, I think real dark brown would be too dark for him. So I took a little bit of white paint and mixed it in with brown, folks. And lightened up the color a little bit. Because I drew Alvin the Chipmunk the other day. And I wound up covering his face up with real dark paint. And it really don't look right on him, folks. But what I can do, maybe one day when we got time, I can lighten up his face and show y'all what he looks like. We probably won't do that tonight because we got these pictures here that we're doing, but we will one day. You can't do everything in one night, folks. It's going to take time on it, you know. I try to get these videos in too before it gets too late. Because if it gets up to be about 12 o'clock, time's gonna change on the videos, and I don't want my videos to go into the next day. Because I may have something that I want to video the next day. And if I got already got a video from tonight on there, then I won't be able to do it, folks. This is a little monkey. I thought you all would like this monkey. Some people put pictures like this in a picture frame and hanging on the wall too, folks, if it looks right. I guess it just all depends on how good it looks and stuff too. I just always like pictures, folks. And I like the idea of being able to create a picture. I may wind up having to put a little bit more white paint in this because it turned out to be kind of dark looking, folks. Even with all that white paint I put in there. But I got one of them big puffers too, folks, and Tempo Dust. If I wanted to, I could go out there and, you know, there's some of them up in the soffit, the Hornets. I could take the puffer out there when I know that they're in bed and puff a little bit of that Tempo Dust up in there. And Tempo Dust is some pretty good stuff, folks. But I don't use Tempo Dust a whole lot, though, because I don't like climbing on a ladder. And a lot of times you have to climb on a ladder, you know, to use that if they're up high or something. So I try not to have to do that. And I don't want my husband doing it either, really. And I really don't want him messing with a mean old hornet either. Because them things are mean. You go out there and start trying to spray them and all that stuff, folks, you have a war on your hands. Believe me, they watch you, and they're not really that dumb either. They're not as dumb as you think. So, just got to be really, really careful with those kind of things. Alrighty. Yeah, there was um, a guy, my husband knew him, that fell off a ladder and killed himself back in the summer. So me and my husband don't want to try climbing no ladders. I mean, we do back there where the squirrels are at, but my husband's got that ladder bolted down where it's not going to go anywhere. And we hang on real tight when we climb. And usually we go together, that way we'll be safe, you know. Yeah, I was out there by the below the deck there, folks picking tomatoes one night. It's after 8. I picked my husband some tomatoes. He fell and hurt himself, so I didn't want him out there doing that. It left a big old bruise too, where he fell and rolled over the hill, folks. He was down there messing with that old fence. I told him I prefer he didn't do that down there by himself. Because I'm always up here to the house, and if he doesn't have his phone and is unable to use it, how am I going to know what happened, you know? Just have to use safety when you're doing things, folks. Because if you don't, you can get yourself in trouble that way. You certainly don't want to be climbing up no ladder to do ball face hornet nests. You don't want to do that, folks. That's too dangerous. Because them things do swarm, and they call them bullet hornets, folks, for a reason. The reason they call them bullet hornets is because if you get within so many feet of that nest, and they're outside that nest and they see you coming, the first thing they're going to start doing is attacking you. And they say that they hit you hard enough it feels like a bullet. That's why they call them bullet hornets. Yep. You don't want to go messing around with something like that, folks. Best thing to do is go to doityourself.com and order you a quick knockdown and try to see if you can get something to spray it up high enough, you know, without you needing to have a ladder or getting up close to that nest. Unless you got a really, really super protective gear, folks. But I tell you, them hornets can sting through some of them bee suits. Those bee suits are made for honeybees, not hornets. They can sting through a bee suit, folks. Yeah, those are for, you know, honeybees. Honeybees may not be able to sting through it, but a hornet can. There's little baby hornets out there flying around, and I didn't know it, folks. And I was out there one day not even thinking about it. But I was getting ready to come in the front door, and I felt one of them get me on the back of the leg. And them little suckers hurt when they sting, too. It takes the sting a while to go away. But, anything that you do around them things, they will retaliate, and the whole gang will be on you. So you just got to be really careful with that kind of stuff, folks. If you go to doitmyself.com, get you some of that wasp freeze, folks. That's a quick knockdown. I know one thing, they're thick here this year. I'll tell you why they might be that way here too, folks. I don't know if y'all knew this or not, but if you have a lot of light out in your yard with security lights, they'll be thicker because light draws them. So if you have light out in your yard at night, folks, that's probably what draws them. And we just had another light put in to shine up there by the driveway because my husband comes in kind of late sometimes if he's enjoying the auction. And he wanted to be able to see because it was really dark up there. And as dangerous as everything's gotten these days, folks, it pays to have a little bit of extra lighting so you can see what's going on around you. Them European hornets will knock on your window if they see light. They'll bang on your window. The ball face, not so much because they mostly stay in their nest at night. Now, some of the workers might come out at night, to hunt for food, things like that. So don't count on them being in bed, folks. That's another thing too. You're not for certain if there's gonna be some workers out, doing what they gotta do to survive. And if you're going to treat a nest on your own, that might be kind of dangerous, folks. Yeah, I don't want to mess with no bullet hornet, folks. Them things are dangerous. But the good news is they'll be gone in November, because they can't take cold weather. So, but the only thing bad about that part is, though, if they're around and the weather changes a little bit, turn it off a little colder, their behavior gets more aggressive. I remember back when I did wear my bee suit, I was out there on the deck with the chicks and geese. And that's back when we had that real bad yellow jacket problem, because we had yellow jackets here one year too, folks. And them little yellow jackets would come up there and get on my mask. One of them got right up next to my ear, and he was trying to get in my mask. It was one of them little eastern yellow jackets. He was trying his best to sting. But like I said, those bee suits ain't gonna stop a bald-faced hornet, folks. It just won't. I don't wear them either because they're too hot. I can't stand the bee suit in the summertime. So I take my chances. All right. Well, thank you for joining my YouTube channel, folks. You got this, and you have a nice night, folks. We're 25 minutes in. That's why I'm shutting down. Thank you. Bye-bye. You're awesome, folks.